Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible.
Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 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 I hope y'all can nest double E, cause I need your eyes on me. Once I get my feet in this end zone, no one can
watch the episode?
Can I make a scene like a movie, feeling big, keep it juicy before we start getting unruly. I've been hooping like a hoolie, keep it coolie before I stuff you in a locker like a bully. Like a bully in the work, you can see my fingernail dirt. I'm the last one to leave, even when I come first. Yeah, you might want it bad, but I'm sure I want it worse. I'ma do it cause I love it, I'ma love it till it hurts. What's the worst that can happen, Captain? I'm strapped in, no I'm not crazy, I'm just tapped in. Hungry like I'm fasting, I'm about that action, no slacking. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, cause here come the pain. No one to call up for help, no one to blame but yourself. You should've known better, however you did it, so we had to come ring your bell. Like I need a ward, wait until I score, make it rain till it pour. I'm a dog on force, put in work like a chore till I'm underneath the floor, in the trenches like a war. If they wanna give them more, when I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 4th down, 4 yards, put it all on the line. I am not worried cause it is our time. I hear the crowd in the background, man, they just wanna see me shine. For the hell of it, it's irrelevant. You lacking the intelligence to make it make sense. We gon' manifest whatever we came to get. That's a little money and a trophy and nothing they call respect. We don't care who the best, we don't worry who was next. We gon' put them boys to rest like a 10 feet of bed. I'm ahead of the rest like I came without a net. They gon' say it under breath, I'ma say it with my chest. I got it wrapped like a toga, put the whole team on my shoulders. Hold up, wake these boys up, call me Folger, soldier, flow feeling colder, some call it polar. You don't wanna box me, I'm feeling cocky, hair stocky, leave them floppy, face knocky, talking on hockey, thinky big poppy, then I'll chop them down like karate. I see none of you here can stop me, it's obvious, sloppy, cheap copy, I'm rocky, leave his eyes all glossy, but in the end zone is where you can spot when I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Dollar. Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in week 16. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Now Wentz on third down. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
Well, they'll get about 3 up close to the 35. This defense for the Vikings, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Well, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be fourth down. Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 18. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 35.
I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped the position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Vikings hit 11-3 on the year, and they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And again, it's Mayfield. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal. The opening drive, it continues, Charles, to be all pass, and it's working. Now they're on the doorstep of a touchdown here, 1st and goal.
Brandon, because it's working so well, I think the entire playbook is open for them right now. Do you want to...
Touchdown, Vikings! Dalton Schultz, his 3rd. On the doorstep of a touchdown here, 1st and goal.
Brandon, because it's working so well, I think the entire playbook is open for them right now. Do you want to...
Touchdown, Vikings! And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Yeah, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. First carry for Rashad White. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Play action. Now Wentz. He's going to wind up and air it out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give him credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Jake Camarda sent on now to punt this away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Called out a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus the defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just prove to themselves that they can get to it, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Mayfield on 1st down. And now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up.
Almost like, it's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. That'll be caught. It's Rager. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Mayfield to throw it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Buccaneers are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, it's going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was always saying, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Bucs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
And that was a big-time play by the defense. And they as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Cook up the gut. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cook. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the 1st down marker at the Bucs' 40-yard line. They'll run it. Here's Cook.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
Complete. Jefferson the target. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 19. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 18 yards that time to push him up, first and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
Cook. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Again, it's Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Vikings take a 3-touchdown lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21 to zip. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
on come playoff time, and this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he's got it to about the 40. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Now a second down and 6. Mayfield now. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. And he is the NFC rating offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
On first and 10, Mayfield. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only second and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm, and he delivers it with confidence.
They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
On 2nd and goal, Mayfield, and he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. And not a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal, a loss of 6, and now it's 3rd down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack, but he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 28-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings booming away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's going to float this one deep right side.
On Wentz is intercepted yet again. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
On second down, it's Cook again.
7 yards there and a first down.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner over 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors. And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision he has. He sees holes that maybe don't exist.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 57 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. That's another first down.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get. Keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling in. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. As he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Joe Tryon able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. They're going to look to throw. That's caught by Ware.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2.
Looking for Mims, but this is intercepted. And the Bucs are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. The Bucs on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Under pressure, Trask, and down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, Gardner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
He's going to loft one deep left side here.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
And they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could hope for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And some room to maneuver.
And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll go Madison up the middle, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd.
And some room to work. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
You ready for that?
Let's go now.
Ready.
Now a give to Madison. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team
He's going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And they will take a knee here. Second and goal from the 6 this time. And they'll indeed take a knee.